In this video, we are running through the Dollar Tree and finding some items that we can put to good use to create some gorgeous DIYs for this upcoming spring and summer that's really just going to add those perfect splashes of color and get you ready for the warmer months. Okay, so there's nothing like using a watering can in your decor to make it look like springtime. This is one of my favorite hacks ever. All you do is take a piece of paper, so something that you print out. I printed out this watering can. You could have easily traced this if you had something the similar shape. And then I'm scribbling on the back. Yes, you can use carbon paper, but this is super easy for me to do and I just love to do it. It's an easy hack. You don't have to have any special things on hand. And I'm just tracing it onto just a thin scrap piece of cardboard and then cutting this out. I try to take my time. I don't worry about getting it perfect. You can see that I even tried to trace the handle a little bit thicker than the paper was, just so it wouldn't be really flimsy, but I take a little utility knife to cut that out. I get the shape of the watering can, but this is my favorite hack, is to use wood filler to actually fill in the edges. I'll be doing that in just a second. This is the sign that I'm going to be applying it to. This is out of the Dollar Tree Plus section. It was around $5, but you could use any of the $1.25 pieces, even if it's an MDF sign, to get the same effect. I did want it to have a whitewash background, so I go ahead and apply the white paint, leaving a little bit of the natural raw wood showing behind it. I do just hit it with a piece of sandpaper, but after this dries, going ahead and starting on that watering can. So I love this wood filler that's in these little tubs. I picked this up at Walmart. It's called plastic wood, but it's just easy for me to dip my finger down in there and apply it to whatever I want instead of worrying about squeezing the tube. But a lot of times those get clogged up. And if this dries out, I just apply a little bit of water, pour a few drops of water in here and let it set and soak it back up, and it's good as new. So this is definitely my favorite. I'll try to link it down below for you guys. But I go ahead and just fill in the edges the best I can. And then I do like to rub a little bit on the front just for a little bit of texture and to smooth out those cardboard lines, because I don't want this to look like it's obvious cardboard, but this just works so perfect to get those great shapes without having to purchase wood or saws or being really good at using like a scroll saw or something. But you can get these fun little shapes, and they seem to last really great on decor like this, especially for this purpose. I'm going to be gluing it down on some tower blocks so it's raised up a little bit from the board so I can put some flowers down in here. I let this dry before applying it to it, and then I lay it down in the place that I wanted to attach it, and just putting these tower blocks down on both sides. I'm trying to leave an opening in the center so I can put this flower stems down in there. You can use any Dollar Tree flower that you want. I actually found these little tulips at Target, and they like have a real feel to them. They're really high quality and made well. They're $1 each, so I feel like that was a great price point if I wanted to just grab a few of them. But like I said, if you wanted to save a few dollars, you can go to Walmart. Walmart has incredible floral picks for usually around 98 cents. I love checking there first, but always check at Dollar Tree too. But I just love the realistic feel of these tulips, and they scream spring to me. I feel like the watering can was a little bit plain, so I am adding some of my favorite Dollar Tree rub-on transfers. And it really doesn't take a lot to add in those beautiful pops of spring colors. My favorite color is pink, so that's why I'm going with these pink tulips. I decided to fill it in just a little bit more and add them to the top, but this is exactly what I was going for, bringing in some of those fun spring and summer vibes. And this just reminds me of like gardening and doing all the fun things when the weather starts to warm up. One of my favorite, all-time favorite things to display in springtime is succulents, and I have a hard time keeping plants alive, so I love to opt for the Dollar Tree fake ones. This is a really fun project. I love to read, so I love like decorating with books. I know it's kind of a controversial topic. I always get bad comments if I use a book, but I always use like a book that I've already read that I know I'm never going to read again. I pick up one from the Goodwill, something that's going to be thrown out. I am not going to put like my favorite books. I like hot glue them together, but I know some people, it just kills them to use a book. So just, you don't have to do that. You can like have other options. You can use a wooden box if you wanted to, but I just love the idea of using a book for this, especially old books. This one is not an older book. It's just a book that I didn't really love and I didn't care to decorate with, but there's just something to me about decorating with books and just having them around my home. It makes it feel cozy and I just love reading. So I like actual like book decoration setting around. For this, I wanted it to look really natural. I did put a wood block in the bottom and hot glue that down, and that's just going to hold this book open. I took some faux moss that I had just from the Dollar Tree and I glued that down. It did try to stain my hands really bad, so I kept having to wash them over and over when filming this video, but it stained them green, so I'm guessing it had some kind of weird thing on it, so you can opt for something else or try to wear gloves when you do this. But I got all that glued down, and then using some colorful succulents, I thought this made it even better, adding that pop of color in there, and then some of these little dangly ones, I glued them in the different areas and then filled it in with some small succulents. So I love picking up succulents at Dollar Tree, but also Walmart had like this little set of succulents, these tiny ones, and they work perfect on projects like this. So you're getting to fill in this space for a lot cheaper than paying the $1.25 for each plant. But how cute is this? I absolutely love it. Just a fun little reminder of reading, and seeing this just makes me so happy rather than just using a planter box. If you ask me one of my favorite things to DIY for my own home, it would have to be outdoor rugs. I just love doing it. I've done it for years on my channel. I've made lots with succulents on them, with Christmas trees on them. Today I just want to make one for everyday use. So I turned to my Cricut. I'm using my Cricut Maker 3. I'll have that link down below if you're interested in picking one up. But I am cutting out the word welcome. This time I did want to use it as a stencil and not just as a decal. So I am going to be weeding it backwards, pulling out that welcome word. I do measure to get this word as big as possible. On the Cricut Maker, you can actually use smart vinyl instead of using a mat, so I don't have to worry about how big it is or anything. I just stick the smart vinyl in there. This is why I love this machine. It cuts out huge projects like this. I go ahead and weed that, peel off the stencil with my transfer tape, stick it onto the rug, and then I can fill this in with some paint. I love layering rugs as well, so you can always find like layering rugs everywhere, very inexpensive. And this actual doormat, I actually purchased it really inexpensive online, but you can find them like in your local hardware store for under 10 bucks, sometimes even cheaper, but I wanted like a bigger size, and I just feel like they're really high quality if you do go pick them up rather than just ordering random ones from online. But I will have some link down below if you're interested in picking one up. For this though, I wanted to take it a step further. I knew the welcome was just too plain for me, and I actually found some animal print decals or already ready to go images on the Cricut Design Space. So I go ahead and cut that out and weed it down, and I'm using this as a stencil. I cut out a little piece of it that I'm just going to kind of keep moving and using it over and over, so I'm not wasting any of my vinyl. But I just stamp in my black paint. This is just chalk paint, black chalk paint, and I just love how it looks. So it adds so much detail putting that animal print at the top and the bottom. So I just do 2 strips of it, and it just looks so cute. Something I'll get to enjoy all year long without worrying about it being like too seasonal. With Easter being at the end of March this year, I just feel like it makes it feel like it's coming so much faster. I don't even have a lot of time to make an entire Easter video on my channel, so I wanted to bring you all a couple of crafts that I did pair with Easter decor. This one could be used for everyday decor though. I am just using 2 of the Dollar Tree wooden shelves, like hanging shelves, and applying some beads to it. Now these beads that I'm putting closer to the center are just going to support the second board, and then I'll be putting the beads all the way around. I always think it's funny watching these videos back. I think like if someone clicked in right now just at this point of the video, they would be like, what the heck is she making? But that is just for structural support, so it's not gonna cave in or be a weak piece. But I do love how it looks with the bead garland in between the 2 large plank pieces. So I am just using a larger bead garland that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I always purchase them there. You can get them 40% off. They usually bring them out for fall, spring, summer, and they go on sale whenever all the decor goes on sale, so they're really inexpensive. I pick them up in all kinds of colors, but it's great for projects like this. You don't have to deal with individual beads. They're already strung on a piece of twine, so they're ready to go. The really fun part here is that I'm using little napkin rings for the stand on this board. I am going to be painting them, but wanted to hot glue them down first so I can cover all of the imperfections with some paint, let this completely cool down before painting, but then go ahead and kind of whitewash over this. I see these boards or risers out everywhere, and they can be anywhere from $15 to $45. So this is a great way to make your own that would fit your custom space on a budget. Like I said, paired this with some Easter decor and absolutely love it. I love using these wall shelves because they are like a large piece. They do have the pre-drilled holes in them, and they come with hardware, but I'm just saving the hardware for a different project and then filling these holes in with my favorite wood filler. I do sand these down just a tad and then paint them at different fun spring colors. This is a great inexpensive way to get those larger wall art pieces without having to spend a ton of money. I did lighten this pink up with a little bit of white paint. If you don't want to shop Dollar Tree for wood, definitely go to your own hardware store, your local hardware store, and they will cut the wood for you. Just tell them the size, and that works really great. But sometimes it's all about convenience and just making it super easy for us to be able to go home and have things ready to craft. So for this, I did try to lighten up the colors with the light paint. So I did a blue, purple, and pink one. I glued these together just with some little support boards in the back, let this completely cool off, and then started to decorate it. My Dollar Tree right now is filled with so many fun wooden Easter DIY crafts. So I picked up one of these large bunnies just to brush over it with white and make it like a little white silhouette on this colorful board with some greenery. But you also could pick up the carrot. They have tons of different Easter pieces. Just anything that you like the best. You could even go with something not as Easter themed and more for springtime. But I think it's really cute. I filled in the little hole, touched that up with a little bit of white paint, and I feel like it adds so much fun color and definitely looks perfect for springtime. Thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. Please leave me a big thumbs up. Lots of more fun new content coming your way, so be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting! Bye!